Hello, good evening and welcome to our first midweek Scott Sport of the new season. The accent, of course, on international football tonight, with, as you've seen, the stories of the games at Hampden between Scotland and Hungary, Dusseldorf, where West Germany have been playing England, and Cardiff, an extra item this, where in the European Championship, Wales have been facing Denmark in a vital Group 6 match.
I'm just back from Hampden Park along with Ian St John. We watched the match which Andy Roxburgh said was the start of Scotland's build-up for the next World Cup. We'll be analysing how Scotland performed.
Well, I enjoyed the game. I think we both did, and very interesting points coming out. I'm looking forward to discussing it after the action.
Right, and first then to Hampden Park. Andy Roxburgh well aware that his side tonight were aiming to do two things: score our first victory over the Hungarians since 1939, and, as Ian has just said, to find himself a launching pad for the up-and-coming matches on the road, which hopefully will lead all of us to the 1990 World Cup in Italy. Much to play for then for all the bright young men on duty tonight, and Jock Brown takes up the story right at the start of the match.
And rarely has a friendly international assumed such importance as this match against Hungary tonight. The build-up to the 1990 World Cup beginning, with thoughts of the European Championship now a fading thought in the mind of the Scotland manager Andy Roxburgh. Hungary in the same boat, they are rebuilding also. Their European Championship hopes appear to be banished also, so it's very important indeed for Scotland to get off to a fast start. There goes Mo Johnston, looking very sharp going through the middle. And two Hungarian defenders to close him down. So first look there for Johnston, and there's a bad tackle by Durant on Salai. Ian Durant making his international debut, and that indeed was his first contribution to international football. A late clumsy challenge. So the Hungarians, renowned of course for fast, creative football. So, promising match in store. Well, that's certainly not what they're renowned for. That was Keller who went into that very heavy tackle. And the first warning of the match. There's the tackle, down goes McCoist. And he certainly didn't relish that. Steve Nicol. And Willie Miller. Steve Clarke also making his debut tonight. McStay's pass finds Durant. Good running by the Rangers midfield player. There's McStay. A superb effort from Paul McStay. Scrambled away by Bristol in the Hungarian goal. It was all set up by Durant's run initially. The ball came across, breaking awkwardly, and that's a fine shot and a good save by the Hungarian keeper. Paul McStay almost on the target. The Hungarians, a much changed lineup. Only 4 of these players played against Holland in Rotterdam in April, a match which the Dutch won 2-0. And it's behind the first corner kick of the match to Hungary. Willie Miller taking no chances. And the player going across is Georgi Bognar to take the corner kick for Hungary. Zoltán Péter, the number 5 for Hungary, is in the box, as is Garaba, the number 6. Headed away by Miller. This is Salai. Steve Clarke heading the ball on towards safety and conceding the corner kick. So the crowd goes quiet as Hungary keep the pressure on the Scottish defence. Number 9 is Kovacs. Near post ball, and that appeared to be scrambled over the bar by the combined efforts of Steve Clarke and Roy Aitken. A dangerous corner kick coming in on the near post. Gordon Strachan was also there, and Latham was happy to see that over. Bognar again. It's a fine corner kick. Leighton did well. It's helped away by Durant. The Scots sprinting out, Willie Miller organising a defence. Well, Keller is offside. So the Scottish organisation was good as that move developed on the Hungarian left. Gordon Strachan. Marking is very tight ahead. McCoist beaten to the ball. The head flick on by Peter, Zoltan Peter, the big number 5. So throw to Scotland. Johnston comes across, wides that challenge well, and it's back from Strachan to Clarke. That's a good ball from Strachan. A hurried return pass from Mo Johnston. There's Roy Aiken. Well struck, there's Johnston! And Johnston took a heavy knock as he went in on that rebound. What a fine effort this from the Scotland captain. Roy Aiken was beaten out by Distal. Johnston to the ball very quickly indeed, took that late challenge, and happily he has recovered quickly. There's the referee, Mr. Kaiser, World Cup referee. Salai plays it first time. Mazzara sets off and shows tremendous pace. Miller couldn't get there in time. Scotland are exposed. Mazzara still in possession. Here's the chance for the opening goal. That undoubtedly is a major let-off for Scotland. Haichan in the end sending it wide, but it was the pace and the control of Meszaros after Richard Goff let him run. He took on Willie Miller, pulled it back, and this should have been the opening goal. Haichan coming onto the shot and not testing Jim Leighton. Here's Clarke. Now Johnston. That's a good adjustment there by Strachan. Steve Nicol has found space. He wants to attack his man. Still Nicol doing well to get the cross in. Up goes McCoist, showing his boot to the goalkeeper. The referee has a word with Ali McCoist, but allows play to continue with Distal in possession, the Hungarian goalkeeper. Toma gives it back to Distal. Hungarians normally like to play the ball out from hand from the goalkeeper, but going to the long ball this time. They may regret changing their normal pattern. Now Strachan. Well, that's good play from Johnston. That's when he did his best. That's towards Durant. And almost a dream debut for the Rangers youngster. Great piece of interplay there between Johnston and Durant. Certainly has brought the crowd to life. Here's Roy Aiken. Strachan. Right again for Aiken. Almost carried over the line by the goalkeeper. McCoist was claiming hopefully. But some inventive play from Scotland. The cross whipped over there by Roy Aiken. The deflection almost catching out the keeper. Very close to the line. Good play again from Nicol. Strachan. Johnston caught offside. The flag was up instantly and the referee reacted. But some fine play again, starting from Steve Nicol in the left back position, coming inside, playing the pass towards Strachan, who turned, played it inside the defence for Johnston, and he's just offside. Eyes lay off. Durant very quickly in with the challenge, not once but twice. Guilty of handball, I fancy, yes. A free kick to Hungary. Ian Durant, youngest player on the Scottish side, just 20 years old. Meszaros. Meszaros takes over again. He's very quick indeed going inside. It's a good build-up. Kovacs with a return pass. A great chance now for Hungary. And a fine save in the end by Leighton. Haichan had the shot on target eventually. But the front men for Hungary, Meszaros, Kovacs and Haichan all involved. And the shot in the end from Haichan well beaten out by Leighton. Peter coming forward, linking with Kovacs, and look at that for a save from Jim Leighton. Demoralising that for the attacking team. Jim Leighton judging that superbly. It was lots of power by Peter. Not only did Leighton get there, he held that shot. Marvellous goalkeeping. Across the Scottish back four. Goff helping it all the way to Nicol. Goff stays there in support. Here's Aiken. McStay. Showing great awareness there. He knew exactly what was happening around him. Now Strachan. A good pass from McStay. Durant taking up point position. Superb play from Scotland. Paul McStay at the heart of it all from midfield. Releasing the pass for Durant. Driving it across the bows of goalkeeper Distal. There were no takers for Scotland. Goff's header. Salai forced to sprint to recover. There's a mistake in the middle by Chuhai. Here's Roy Aiken. Durant making space for himself, a little shimmy. Willie Miller comes up from the back. Strachan. Strachan was fouled. It was Garaba who was the offender. It was Scotland free kick. So let's see if there's any set piece rehearsed for this position outside the box. Richard Goff has gone forward. So has Willie Miller. Steve Nicol and Gordon Strachan are the free kick men for Scotland. Shot from Nicol, there's Strachan. McCoist! Yes! 34 minutes gone, and McCoist is up to his best. And it's his first goal for Scotland. Certainly a bit of luck as a ball came across from Strachan. The header came off on a Hungarian, and McCoist needs no more opportunity to strike home his opening international goal. 11 so far for Rangers this season, but I've no doubt that was the goal which has given them most pleasure this season so far. Alan McCoist in his 7th international, snatching the opening goal, striking at its best. Now McStay. Here's Johnston, back to Strachan. Wonderful shot from Gordon Strachan, beaten out by Distal. Danger's over now, the offside flag is up against Strachan. But this was superb play again from Scotland. The build-up, a series of passes coming forward. Back it goes from Johnston to Strachan. A powerful shot beaten out by the Hungarian keeper. Strachan very much in the mood. Tackle by Durant. That'll be a Scottish throw. Saros turning it out. Paul McStay. Here's Steve Clarke. There's no question at all the Scottish full-back partnership has been a success in this first half. Clarke and Nicol. Strachan. Towards Durant. Here's Steve Nicol again, charging up on the left, and well tackled by Salai. So a major attacking asset throughout this first half has been Steve Nicol on the left. Careless one from Johnston, allowing Bognar to win possession. Playing that deliberately off the shins of Nicol. Steve Nicol back in his Ayr United initial position at left back before his transfer to Liverpool for £300,000. Here's Richard Goff, the closing minute now of the first half, which has brought a great deal of encouragement to Scottish fans. Here's Roy Aiken. Johnston, Strachan. Still looking for an opening. Here's Roy Aiken across to McCoist. The chance is on for Goff. The breaks wide of goal. It came off the keeper. It'll be a corner kick. But marvellous play again from Strachan. Aiken played it across. McCoist missed it. Goff a shade slow with the shot. He has to be content with the corner kick. Disappointment for Richard Goff, who is trying to add to his 3-goal Scottish tally so far in his 33 internationals to date. Strachan's corner, goes Aiken, Johnston! A chance he would normally snap up with ease. The flighted corner kick. Aiken attacking the ball, nodding it down. There's Mo Johnston all on his own, and a complete miss kick. And that's the last action of what has been a thoroughly satisfactory first half from the Scottish point of view. The applause reflects the opening half, and Ali McCoist, overjoyed no doubt, to open his international account. It was no more than Scotland deserved. Coming in the 34th minute, Strachan taking the short free kick from Nicol, driving the ball across. The defensive header breaking off a Hungarian. There was McCoist at his best to drive home the only goal of a very entertaining first half. It's Scotland 1, Hungary 0, and we'll be right back. So welcome back to Hampden Park for the second half of the match against Hungary. Scotland leading by 1-0. The goal provided by Ali McCoist in the 34th minute. And some excellent play on display from both sides, in fact. The Hungarians had 1 or 2 excellent chances also, but here's McCoist trying to go forward again. Stopped that time by Chuhai. And it's Haishan who's hurried into an error, and it's Durant who takes over for Scotland. So lots of things to encourage the Scottish fans in the first half. The performances of both fullbacks for a start, right apart from the inventive play in midfield from Paul McStay in particular and Gordon Strachan, and tremendous running from Ian Durant, supported by Roy Aiken. There's a foul on Steve Clarke. Quick free kick wanted by Strachan. Clarke wants to take on Haishan. He's made it past the first challenge. Keller is there. Clarke showing his strength on the ball. Back it comes to McStay. He's attacked immediately by the Hungarian defender. Haishan is taking some abuse from his teammates, from Peter in particular, the man who blocked the shot. Goff misjudged that slightly. Steve Clarke takes over. Nicol. Aiken. There's Gordon Strachan. Clarke. Good play over the chest of Mo Johnston. Turned away by Toma for a throw to Scotland. Johnston appeared to receive a call there from Durant. Oh, a good turn by Johnston. Here's Strachan. And a late challenge was delivered on Johnston by Peter. Corner kick's been awarded to Scotland, but Mo Johnston certainly took a rap on the ankle from Peter after he released the pass a moment ago. The referee has a word with him, no doubt to indicate that he saw what happened. Gordon Strachan with Scotland's corner kick. Given across by Peter. Out as far as Durant. Now Aiken. Worried about the offside trap, I think, but it's Mesaros again with Haishan. Support arriving through the middle for the Hungarians. Cover appears to be back for Scotland. That's good play. Here's Morgan, and the chance is on. Did Leighton get a touch? Yes, says the referee. It was Bognar eventually who got wide on the left to get this shooting chance. Coming inside and touched over by Leighton. Durant popping up on the Scottish right. McCoist, good play from Johnston. Appeared to be bundled off the ball by Keller, and the free kick's been given to Scotland. Richard Gough has stayed back. He appears to have taken a knock. He's not joining the attack this time. Willie Miller is going forward. Ball stays at the edge of the box. It's Strachan who'll take the kick. Trying to drill the ball low into the ruck of players. It didn't come off. That's a good ball inside to Bognar. Salai willing as ever to come forward on the right. Attacking Steve Nicol. Supported again by Bognar. It's a good tackle by McStay. Garaba. Salai. Hefty tackle there by Steve Nicol. It was unfair in the end, and the free kick's been given to Hungary. Steve Nicol really has no complaint, I reckon, about that decision. Salai with the free kick, looking for Garaba. Striking an accurate ball into the path of Durant. The early ball this time finds McCoist. Scotland trying to hit on the break. McCoist retaining possession well. This is Strachan, now McStay. Johnston's free on the right. Strachan goes on the outside, he's the decoy. And McCoist had come inside. Johnston thought he would be on the far post. Goff's header. Delicate one forward from Garaba. Bognar becoming more and more influential in the second half in midfield, especially on that right flank. Far flung ball looking for Keller. Strachan closes him down instantly. This is Peter. Goes all the way across to Salai. Everyone back except Johnston and McCoist for Scotland. Steve Nicol will escort that behind for the Scotland goal kick. Johnston's layoff, McStay into the path of Durant. Good play from Scotland. Durant gets a second chance to find Ali McCoist, a chance for the second. Yes! Sheer magic of McCoist. Andy Roxburgh on his feet in the track. And little wonder, 16 minutes into the second half, and have Scotland found a new striker. Durant did well, making a run forward. He get two chances with his pass. The second was delivered instantly. Control from McCoist, composure going past the keeper, and then the deadly finish to put Scotland into the lead by 2-0. McCoist looking towards the bench. I think Andy Roxburgh is checking the state of his fitness after the knock he took a moment ago, but really that goal answers any question about his fitness. Super Ali is the chant from the Scottish fans. And Jim Leighton brought into action straight away. It was the long-range effort from Garaba. So the Hungarians showing their courage. Garaba picking the ball up at the edge of the box, thundering it in, and Leighton at full stretch. Hashan inside. This is Toma. Salai. Controlled now by Keller. He has Hashan on the left. Bognar. Hashan. Here's a chance for a long-range shot. At the edge of the box, it was Garaba again who found space. It was Nicol's deflection. But Garaba is not being picked up around the penalty box. This pass reached him. He was on his own. And Steve Nicol deflected the shot wide. Bognar. Steve Nicol's header, I think. That'll be a corner kick once again. So back it comes to Bognar. Scotland determined, I'm sure, to be diligent at the back. They have scored a couple of good goals and will be very anxious to avoid any errors at the back. Salai. Well, that was hit powerfully enough. Only one thought in the mind of Sandor Salai when this corner kick came all the way across, head flicked on by Richard Gough. The first time effort, and that wasn't far away from Jim Leighton's top corner. In midfield, it's Gordon Strachan with Steve Clarke appearing on the right. Durant is also on the right touchline. Inside to Paul McStay. Trying to make room for a direct shot on target, I think. That's for Nicol. Oh, he did the right thing, trying to play the early ball across the face of the goal. He didn't have the accuracy, and a let off for the Hungarian defence, but it was well set up. McStay threading the ball through. Nicol first time over the top. Goal kick to Hungary, and Mo Johnston going off to be replaced by Eric Black, earning his first international cap, formerly with Aberdeen, now with Metz in France. And an opportunity to link up with Ali McCoist in attack. Bognar again. Peter. No slouch on the ball, the big number 5. There's Gough. There haven't been many lusty clearances like that today. Most clearances have been played to feet. Good play from McCoist despite his jersey being held. Here's Eric Black. McStay into space for Strachan, who's onside. The pass was just too heavy from McStay. Strachan didn't keep it in play. So, the goal kick it is. Good kick out from Distal. McStay attacking the Hungarian defence by himself at the moment, supported now by Black on the right. That's a fine cross! Good goalkeeping by Distal. McCoist was hovering there looking for his hat-trick, and the bearded keeper did well. This is a good out-swinging cross from Black. The keeper came out and committed himself and did well to get there before McCoist. Hungarians in possession again, stopped by Durant. Here's Bognar, and now Keller. Inside is Peter. Oh, that's good play by Salai. Got away from Nicol all right, but Gough was there, although the pass back was just a shade light. Nicol to Strachan. McCoist calls for the ball on the right. McStay is inside, so is Durant, who's gone offside, or Black rather has gone offside, both of them in fact. Over enthusiasm on the part of the debutants, Durant and Black. So it'll be time for another Scottish substitution, and the change is going to involve the replacement of Paul McStay with Jim Bett. The referee hasn't spotted the substitute board, so the Hungarians come forward. Nicol has to be quick. It was fouled from the back. So now the substitution can be made. Paul McStay coming off, and that certainly will not reflect in any way the calibre of his performance tonight. He played extremely well. One of McStay's best performances for Scotland. He's worked very hard indeed, getting a deserved rest. And congratulations from Andy Roxburgh, and Jim Bett is the replacement, going on to win his 19th cap. Bett being policed by Chuhai. Can he get the cross in? Eric Black can't reach it. It's back to Durant. Well, that was a fine opportunity for the young Rangers midfield player. As the ball came out, he really would have expected, I think, to do much better. That was beyond Eric Black. Harry McCoist couldn't reach it. It was headed high in the air by Thomas, dropping for Durant, and the shot goes wide. Saros. The strength of Aiken wins the ball for Scotland. Here's Willie Miller. That's a bad ball by Clarke. Leighton comes racing out of his goal to rescue his fullback colleague, Steve Clarke. Here's Salai. Inside to Haishan. The shot is blocked and the loose ball is picked up by the Hungarians. Bognar to Keller. Too high. Garaba with the first time ball, looks for the return. This is good play from Hungary. That could be a penalty kick easily, and the referee waves play on. And I think that's a break for Scotland and for Willie Miller. Referee Kaiser not interested, but there's a very bad tackle on Gordon Strachan, penalised by a yellow card for Zoltan Petar. And I believe the Hungarians still feel a bit upset that they didn't get a penalty kick when Miller went into that tackle just inside the box. So there will be a substitution now for Hungary, taking off Kovacs, number 9. Malnar Kovacs is coming off and he'll be replaced by Lovas. So here's the incident when Scotland may well have been penalty kick victims. Well, there's Miller's tackle, and I thought that was a foul. Referee Kaiser is checking his watch. There have been a couple of stoppages for injuries, but no time added on. The final whistle goes. Scotland the winners by 2-0. There's the scoring hero, Ali McCoist. Have Scotland found a regular scoring striker at last? 2 superb goals. He missed a couple of snap chances, but his striking record really superb, and that capped what was overall a very satisfying performance for my money from Scotland. They played some excellent football. The build-up from midfield was good. Oh, Johnston worked very hard beside Ali McCoist for the first hour of the match. Eric Black doing likewise in the later stages. But in the end, Scotland running out comfortable winners by 2-0.
Andy, a 2-0 victory. Were you happy with the performance?
Well, obviously we're delighted to win the match, and it was very important for our spectators who turned out tonight to see a result like that, and 2 good goals from Ali McCoist.
These goals, of course, must be very encouraging in the context of Scottish strikers struggling in recent matches. Do you see this as potentially a major breakthrough?
Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, it's one game, and obviously we hope we can continue from that. We've felt that we've been a little bit unlucky in some of the matches. We haven't quite been as bad as I think has been made out. But obviously we needed that. It was very important to us. The morale's very high in the camp, but you can't keep making excuses, you know, if things are not going well. And so it was very important there to win the match, and particularly I was delighted that Alistair McCoist scored the 2 goals. Ali's been playing very, very well for us, and he really deserves that tonight.
The goals really were typical Ali McCoist, weren't they?
Yes, exactly. They were typical Ali McCoist, and particularly the second one was a magnificent strike right in the bottom corner. Yeah, we're very pleased for Alistair.
Now, you had 2 debutants tonight. You had Steve Clarke and Ian Durant. How did you feel they performed?
Yes, I thought they did very well, both of them. It's very hard on them. I mean, young Durant's only 20 years old, and he felt very tired later on in the match. I mean, you've got to remember, it's not just the physical side of it, there's a psychological bit. It's a pressure on a young lad putting on the Scottish jersey for the first time, and Stevie Clarke did very well down the right flank for us. I think there's more to come from the 2 of them. And it was pleasing even to get Eric on as well. So in a night when we bloodied 3 new players and we also won 2-0, well, obviously we must be reasonably happy.
You're actually remarkably low-key, I would suggest, for a performance like that, when there's a lot of good football on view. Were there aspects of the play which worried you as well?
Oh, yes. I think, and this is the bit that worries me, it was self-inflicted. You know, the problems we had in the game, we created them. The Hungarians played well in patches, certainly, obviously, and Jim Leighton had to pull off 1 or 2 good saves. But we got ourselves into difficulty every now and again, and that was a little bit worrying for me. That's something we have to work at and sort out. But as I said, the mood in the camp is good, and the lads work very hard, and we'll just have to get on with it. It's a result, we're happy with that, but there's a lot more to come, and we have to really work at it.
Ali, do you feel a sense of relief to have gotten the gold standard for Scotland?
Definitely, Jock. I think the previous games I felt I'd played reasonably well without scoring, but to score tonight's a tremendous relief for me, to say the least.
Were you happy to be part of that overall Scotland performance?
Yeah, I think some of the football in the first half we played some great one-touch passing stuff, and we lost it a little bit in the second half, I would think, but overall it was a good performance and a good victory.
You scored 2 goals of very different types. Can you tell us how you saw the first one?
The first one I think was a little bit fortunate. I think Gordon hit a corner or free kick across, he drove it across, and the driven ball caused him a bit upset in the defence. I think it just ricocheted off somebody, and I was lucky enough to fall to my feet and I struck it, and perhaps the goalkeeper should have done a little bit better, but I was relieved to see it hit the back of the net.
You certainly appear to be particularly happy about number 2.
The second one I was very, very pleased with, because I think Ian tried to play the through ball and it got headed back to him, and he played me the same ball again, and I took a touch and I saw the goalkeeper come out, and I was lucky enough to round him and stick it into the empty net.
Now, do you think you can go on from here? Because Scotland have been crying out, as you know, for a striker who scores goals regularly. Do you think you can be the man?
I'd like to think so, I hope so. I'd like to be involved in future squads and play, pull on that blue jersey. It's the greatest feeling in the world, and if I can score a goal for Scotland, I'll be more than pleased.
Yes, well done, Ali McCoist, speaking there exclusively to Scottish television. Ian St John, I think we all came away from Hampden Park reasonably happy and content tonight.
I think that was the general opinion from everyone there, and it's nice to come away from Hampden feeling that at least we enjoyed a game and we saw some glimmer of hope as far as Scotland was concerned. So I think that was nice, and I mean, Andy's been a little bit low-key simply because I think that he's had so many knocks in his managerial career with Scotland, you know, so many bad results. I would disagree with him. I didn't think that we have played well in the past, but tonight there was a lot of sparkle there. You know, the young players I thought played well, and you know, and it does give you hope for the future.
Well, there were only 21,000 people there, and they didn't make an awful lot of noise. So that really is a sign that we may have started on this road to the World Cup, but it's going to be a long and uphill road to make it, isn't it?
Well, it is, and you know, he's got to build a team that will get the fans back to Hampden Park, because they've been disillusioned. There's no two ways about it, they have. But I think the 21,000 there tonight and the ones who've been watching on television would say, hey, we've got something here, because there was enough good football on display, you know, from both teams.
And what there also was Scotland goals and Ali McCoist. I mean, that covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it? And the first goal was, I suppose, just what we needed, because one goal and one win in 7 games last season, we haven't been scoring, and we get a break, don't we?
We need a break, Ian, exactly that, and that's what we got there. We got the break, and you know, I mean, you could play all the football in the world, you can press and get the ball in the box, but sometimes you just need that little bit of luck. And the ball dropping to McCoist, who I must say, having watched him this season, he's electric. He's very quick. Little half chance and bang, it's in the net.
That's right.
You know, I think he was worth his place tonight.
And that encouraged a lot of one-touch football and a lot more confidence, a lot more sort of youthful enthusiasm than we saw last season.
Well, we did. I mean, I thought... see, I've always criticised the Scottish midfield players in the past sort of half a dozen games for not getting involved and not getting forward. But I think the way we played tonight allowed us to do that, because we did link up and we did play a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah, because the second goal, although it's a marvellous finish by McCoist, is a very quick piece of thinking by Ian Durant, isn't it?
I thought Durant played very well throughout the game, and as I say, he likes to get forward with the boy, and look at that there. You know, when the ball came back to him, bump, back it went to his Rangers teammate, and it's in the net. Now that was lovely, it was good play, but it's something, as I say, that we've been wanting to see from Scotland. The midfield players getting forward and giving a supply to the strikers.
And that marvellous shot of Andy Roxburgh coming off the bench when he tries to be awful calm and collected and everything, but there's a heart burning there, isn't there?
I think there was a lot of relief in that when he jumped off the bench.
Right.
Yeah.
We defended quite well, but it has to be said, Hungary were no bad team.
Hungary were a very good side, and as I say, they play some lovely football. The thing about Hungarians, you know, they may not win a lot of games, but they're entertaining, and some of the skills, some of the little flicks and the 1-2s they played, you know. Yeah. I mean, Scotland could be criticised, I think, maybe at the centre of defence, because we did allow them to get some shots, but it was because I think they were so skillful.
But the good thing I mean, we all go back to the Hungarians of '53. What I like about them is they do encourage other people to do the same. And this move we can see of Scotland is Scots saying, oh, we can do this as well as you, which is a lovely move.
That's right. As I said, you know, I wanted midfield players to get involved and knock the ball around. And when you've got it, don't give it away. And I think tonight there was lots of this going on. Little Gordon got involved as well. You know, Paul McStay, who I thought played well. Durant, there's little Gordon coming. And you see, we have half a dozen passes and we end up with a shot at goal from a midfield player. And all our midfield players tonight got shots at goal. You know, Durant, McStay, Strachan, we all get in there and shots at goal, and that was terrific.
We can't leave it without a word about Jim Leighton, because I suppose managers say that's what we pay these guys for, that goalies are supposed to do it, but I must say the save we're going to see was just one of half a dozen that kept Scotland in the game.
Well, as I said, I felt a little bit for the Hungarians. I think they deserved a goal because they played a lot of clever football, a lot of very inventive football. Some of the 1-2 stuff like that there was superb. And bang, you know, great shot from just outside the box. And Jim Leighton equal to it. And he had to be on his toes 2 or 3 times tonight. But again, it's a clean sheet for him, and, you know, terrific goalkeeping. Went across there and held it. Now, that's top-class goalkeeping.
It wouldn't be Scotland if we couldn't find something to criticise. any minus points quickly, Ian?
Not really. I think tonight, I've come away from that game much heartened with that display tonight, and I think Andy can look forward to the next game with a lot more optimism than he has in the past.
Good. Well, we've got 3 good games coming up, or 2 good games at Hampden Park, and what we want is the 20,000 to become 40,000 to become 60,000.
Sure, and I think the Belgium game will be a tough one for us.
We look forward to it. Yeah. Thanks, Ian.